This was a brilliant move on the side of Israel, by the way, because, Iran wanted to drag Israel and Lebanon into this MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding, without anybody talking to Israel or to Lebanon. And they are the main actor, actually, who are fighting with each other. And Iran did not want to lose Lebanon. So this is why they included Lebanon in the MOU. But Israel did not want to get into a confrontation with the United States. So what Israel did was brilliant. There is no peace with the current regime in Iran. Period. End of story. They will lie. They will deceive. They will try to buy time. They are taking J.D. Vance back to school to give him a master class on negotiating, on the art of negotiating. He and Steve and Jared Kushner, the Iranians are masters at manipulation. They hate our guts. That's exactly why they were talking back just this weekend about why and the importance of developing nuclear weapons and atomic weapons. These people want our destruction. And it has nothing to do with Israel, by the way. I know there is a lot of Americans on the right, on the conservative side, saying, Israel dragged us into war. This has nothing to do with Israel. Remember, in 1979, when Iran took the American hostages, 145 days they were kept in Iran. Israel had nothing to do with it back then. Iran back then in 1979 called us the Great Satan. And since then, they are after us. And even if they wipe Israel off the map and Israel is gone,
we're
next. Exactly. They hate us. The only way we're going to be able to win and save ourselves from a nuclear attack is to basically wipe this regime off the planet. We can work with the Iranian people. We cannot work with anybody representing this regime, because as long as the IRGC is in charge, we are doomed. It's either us or them, and we need to eat them for lunch before they eat us for dinner. Very simple.
And so Secretary Marco Rubio brokered an historic framework peace agreement between Israel and Lebanon. But is it a real deal? Is it a really good deal? Is it good for Israel? Is it good for America? Will it work? Are they going to stay with the deal? Tell us all about it, because, the average person is very skeptical.
Well, this was a brilliant move on the side of Israel, by the way, because, Iran wanted to drag Israel and Lebanon into this MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding, without anybody talking to Israel or to Lebanon. And they are the main actor, actually, who are fighting with each other. And Iran did not want to lose Lebanon. So this is why they included Lebanon in the MOU. But Israel did not want to get into a confrontation with the United States. So what Israel did was brilliant. Israel and Lebanon agreed to talk together on the side and sign an agreement together where the president of the United States cannot get upset with both of them, because they both have come to an agreement where they're going to work together, which basically threw Iran on the side and rendered Iran paralyzed when it comes to the deal between Israel and Lebanon. And here is the brilliancy of this deal. So Israel is in Lebanon. Lebanon knows that only Israel can get rid of Hezbollah and fight Hezbollah. Lebanon cannot do it on their own. America's not going to get involved fighting against Hezbollah in Lebanon. So Israel is the only one that can actually defeat Hezbollah. So what Israel has done, which is another brilliant strategic move by Israel, is they advanced in the last few days, especially past the Litani River, to maintain a wide security zone in the south. So the way the Lebanese and the Israeli now wrote the agreement is Israel has to withdraw a little bit out of Lebanon, which Israel agreed to, which basically Israel got back to exactly where Israel wanted to be at the Litani River. And Lebanon got to save face as they sell the idea to their population. So right now, Israel can remain in South Lebanon all the way up to the Litani River to make sure Hezbollah cannot attack Israel that close from Lebanese territory. The Lebanese government has an ally with the Israelis right now fighting Hezbollah. The Lebanese army can get back into the south to certain area to protect the territories of Lebanon. The Lebanese are happy. The Israelis are happy. Iran cannot do anything about it, and Israel and America can walk together peacefully and happily dealing with Iran.
So explain something to me, because that was a great explanation, Brigitte. Is the Lebanese government and the Lebanese army, they're not on the side of Hezbollah? They're actually more on the side of Israel, or they're just on the side of Lebanon and they don't like Israel or Hezbollah? Where do they stand?
The Lebanese government has a Maronite Christian president, according to the Constitution of Lebanon. The Christians in Lebanon have always liked Israel and been allied with Israel because they know that Hezbollah wants their necks. So we went through a period of Lebanon where there were, some Christians allying with Hezbollah, thinking Hezbollah is going to protect us. All that is gone right now. Right now in Lebanon, the Christians are literally living in fear, fearing what Hezbollah can do to them. So there's no more facade. There's no more, "Oh, we can all get along and live along happily ever after." That's not going to happen right now. The problem with the Lebanese army is half of the Lebanese army is very sympathetic to Hezbollah, are loyalists to Hezbollah. But Lebanon has no other option. It's either the Lebanese army or Hezbollah takes over. So they are willing to gamble and support the Lebanese army to make sure the Lebanese army enters the south and protects the south, which saves the face of Lebanon as a country. And Israel feels that supposedly they have an ally to work with the Lebanese army. The Israelis need to protect themselves. They need to be on the border with Lebanon. They need to be inside a security zone. And that was the best option for the Lebanese and the Israelis to work together.
It's just, there's no one in the world that can ever trust a radical Muslim. I mean, you just can't trust them. Hamas, Hezbollah, I don't care who they are, anyone in Gaza, the Palestinians, they're just all bad. They're just bad. I don't know what else to say. They're evil. They're bad. They're untrustworthy. You're talking about the Iranian regime. It's all radical Muslims. And unfortunately, that's most Muslims. Sadly, I've seen the polling. It reminds me of Nazi Germany. Right? I think it's something like 3% of Nazis ever actually killed Jews. But the other 97% of Germans went along with it. Right? Very few of them were actually Nazis at a concentration camp killing Jews. But they knew what was happening and they went along with it. They smiled. They laughed. They put thumbs up. You killed some Jews today. Good.
Well, as I always say, the numbers don't lie. The numbers are the numbers are the numbers. The data speaks for itself. This is not Brigitte Gabriel's opinion. This is not Wayne Allen Root's opinion. This is the data. This is based on surveys where Muslims were called and asked different questions. Well, the one thing we know is 99.9% of them hate Jews, period. These are the Muslims living in the United States who are supposedly civilized and living amongst us, etc.
And moderate, right? They're supposed to be moderate.
Right, and these are the moderates, but they all hate Jews. Now, all of them are not going to go out and kill Jews, but they sure cover for, support, donate, protect those who want to carry on the terrorist attacks. Terrorists don't operate in a silo by themselves. When you look at the 9/11 hijackers that committed the terrorist attack on 9/11, there were people that supported them. They had, 62 driver's licenses between all of them. Somebody gave them the money to get these driver's licenses. Somebody covered up for them. Somebody funded them. Somebody paid for their airline tickets to come.
Right.
People in the mosques knew about what they were up to, but they kept their mouths shut. When you look at different attacks in the United States, whether it was, you pick a name, anybody, whether it was Sam in Texas back in 2007, 2008, who wanted to blow up the Fountain Building in Dallas, whether it was the Times Square bomber, well, it doesn't matter who it was. There were people that knew about them, that saw the radicalization signs and didn't say anything.
Nothing.
They said nothing. They covered up for them. Remember the guy who killed his 2 daughters in Texas in honor killing? For a year, we were looking for him and nobody would find him because he's being hidden by a family in the United States. So they cover up for each other. And this is a time where we need to throw political correctness in the garbage and start calling a spade before we become like Europe. In Europe right now, and I was giving an interview to Europe this morning, by the way, there is no freedom of speech. They cannot have this conversation you and I are having right now.
Right. And the weirdest part of it is that you have these jihadists in bed with liberals and liberals in bed with jihadists, but they hate. Right? Jihadists hate gays. They can't stand them. They certainly can't stand transgenders. They'd kill them in the middle of the street. They throw gays off buildings. How could they be friends with each other? How could they march together? Insanity.
Because the Islamists are using the lefty communists in our country. I love the way President Trump termed it. They're communists. Forget talking about socialism and Marxism.
Right.
We're talking about communists, okay? So the jihadists and the communist left in America are now working together and coming together because they agree on a lot of issues. So the Islamists are using the leftists as the useful idiots to advance their agenda. Now, their agenda is the same. The Islamists want welfare. They want free food, free housing, everything, free this, free that, be able to bring their 67 people extended immediate family to the United States so they all can siphon off the system so you and I can work and pay our taxes while they're sitting on their behind plotting our takeover.
And they want
10,
open
20,
borders.
50 years.
And they both want open borders.
Exactly. So the leftists are the same way the communists. I mean, look at Mamdani. Free rent, free childcare, free cell phones, free whatever you want, free food stamps, whatever you want.
And you and I have to pay for it. But you and I have to pay for it, Brigitte. Someone's got to pay. The people who work hard and earn their money have to pay for it, while everybody else, the freeloaders.
But the Islamists and the leftists hate you and me, and they don't care. They actually want us to pay money so we can support them. This is their way of sticking it to us. And, this is what the left doesn't get. But this is exactly why we on the right need to be organized, need to be engaged, need to be activated. I don't want to hear anything about apathy. I don't want to hear anything about people not wanting to go out and vote because, I don't like so-and-so, or I don't agree with so-and-so, or as a Christian, I will not vote for a gay conservative. Let me tell you something. This upcoming election, you need to don't even look at the name. You need to see R, and vote Republican all the way down the ticket. You may not agree with 5% of what this person stands for, but you agree with them 95%. And you need to vote for them. That's what the Democrats do. That's what we need to do.